Have you ever had a secret clubhouse? Imagine you have a special place where only your family is allowed to go. It is a place filled with memories of your grandmother and grandfather. You feel safe there because it is private. Now imagine that someone you know, like a stepbrother, decides to let a whole group of strangers into your secret clubhouse. He doesn't do it to be nice. He does it to make money for himself. He tells those strangers that he is the boss of the clubhouse, even though he is not. That is exactly what is happening right now in the world of the British royal family. Balmoral Castle is a very special home in Scotland. It was the favorite place of the late Queen Elizabeth. It is supposed to be a private place for the family to go and relax away from the cameras. But a man named Tom Parker Bowles, who is the son of Queen Camilla, decided to use this private home for a business project. He didn't ask the king, and he didn't ask Princess Anne. He just did it because he thought he was important enough to break the rules. When Princess Anne found out, she did not just sit quietly. She decided to take him to court. This is a story about a very big secret that was found out, a princess who is very angry, and a legal fight that is splitting the royal family apart. It is a story about people who think they are above the rules and the person who is standing up to stop them. The British royal family is going through a very big and noisy problem right now. It is the biggest mess they have had in many years. This time, the trouble is about Princess Anne taking someone to court. She is doing something that no one expected her to do. She is starting a legal fight against Tom Parker Bowles. Tom is the son of Queen Camilla, which makes him the stepson of King Charles. People are saying that Tom used Balmoral Castle in a way that was against the law. He allegedly used the castle for a private business to make money, and he never asked for permission from the royal family. This has made Princess Anne very, very upset. She is so angry that she is dragging him into a courtroom to face a judge. What started as a secret business deal has turned into a giant legal war. This fight is showing everyone that there has been a lot of bad behavior and hidden anger behind the palace walls for a long time. People want to know what this business project was all about. They also want to know how Queen Camilla feels about her son being in so much trouble. We are going to tell you all the dramatic details about what is happening inside the palace right now. The secret plan at Balmoral has finally been found out. Tom Parker Bowles is a man who writes about food. Because his mother is the queen, he seems to think he can do whatever he wants. People are calling him arrogant, which means he thinks he is much better and more important than everyone else. He allegedly made a big plan to use Balmoral Castle for a movie project to make money for himself. He did this without asking the king or any other royal family members if it was okay. The family found out about this by accident. The people who work at the castle noticed that something strange was happening. Usually, during that time of year, the castle is closed so the royal family can have some private time. But the security guards saw big trucks and people bringing in lots of food and cameras. They saw film equipment being moved onto the grass very early in the morning when it was still dark outside. When the guards asked the movie crew what they were doing, the crew said that Tom Parker Bowles told them it was okay. They thought they had permission from the boss. This next part is truly hard to believe. Tom allegedly told the movie company that he had the power to let them into the castle. He told them that since his mother is the queen, he is like a gatekeeper for the royal homes. He acted like he was the person who decides who gets to go into places that are usually private. The movie company really wanted to film at Balmoral because it is a very famous and beautiful place. They believed him and did not check with the real palace officials to see if he was telling the truth. The project was for a show about food and travel that Tom was making. He wanted to show off fancy houses and the kinds of food they eat there. He wanted Balmoral to be the most important part of his show. Tom had already gotten a lot of money from big TV companies and sponsors by promising them that they could film inside Balmoral. He made big promises that he could not really keep. What Tom did not expect was for Princess Anne to show up at the castle without telling anyone she was coming. Princess Anne has always been the person who looks after the Scottish home. She cares about it very much because it has so many memories of her mother and father. Her mother, Queen Elizabeth II, loved Balmoral more than any other house. Princess Anne feels like it is her job to protect that memory. When Princess Anne walked into the castle and saw a whole movie crew set up in the historic dining room, she was extremely mad. People who worked there said she was like a volcano that was about to erupt. She was so angry that she was actually shaking. She could not believe that someone had broken into her family's private space to make a TV show. She immediately told the movie crew to stop what they were doing. She told everyone to pack up their things and get off the property within 1 hour. The fight was very loud and scary. The security guards even had to step in to make sure everyone stayed safe. Tom Parker Bowles was not even at the castle when Princess Anne found the movie crew. He had stayed in London to do other work while his team went ahead to Scotland. He thought his plan was so good that no one would ever find out or try to stop him. That was a very big mistake. Because he was not there to explain himself, things got much worse for him. The first thing Princess Anne did was call her brother, King Charles. She asked him if he had told Tom it was okay to film at Balmoral. King Charles was shocked. He said he never gave Tom permission to do that. In fact, the king said he had never even heard about the movie project. The king felt very embarrassed that his stepson had done something so sneaky and wrong. He did not know what to say to his sister because he was so surprised. After talking to the king, Princess Anne called the royal lawyers. She told them to find out everything that Tom had been doing. She wanted to see every contract he had signed and every bit of money he had taken. She wanted to know what lies he had told people about his power. When the lawyers started looking, they found things that were even more upsetting. Tom had been working on this plan for many months. He had been making deals with many different companies by promising them they could film at royal properties. He had signed papers with camera companies and catering companies, all based on the lie that he was in charge. This was a giant legal problem. If Tom could not let these companies film at the castle, they would all sue him for breaking his promises. Even worse, the lawyers found out that Tom had made the same promises for other royal homes like Sandringham and Windsor Castle. He was acting like a middleman for the royal family, even though that was not a real job and he had no right to do it. The amount of money involved was huge. The investigators found that Tom had taken hundreds of thousands of pounds from these companies. They paid him personally because they thought he had the authority to let them in. This money was taken because Tom told lies about who he was. Princess Anne was especially upset that Tom was trying to make money off of her mother's favorite home. Queen Elizabeth always wanted Balmoral to be a quiet place for the family, not a place for tourists or TV shows. Tom's plan went against everything the late Queen wanted. For Princess Anne, this was not just about a house. It was about respecting her mother's memory and her wishes. The lawyers also found out that Tom had made fake papers that looked like they came from the palace. He showed these fake papers to companies to make them believe him. Making fake royal papers is a very serious crime. It is called fraud, and it can get someone in big trouble with the police, not just in a family argument. When Tom was caught and shown the proof, he tried to say it was all just a big misunderstanding. He said he thought that because he was the Queen's son, he had special permission to use the houses. His own lawyers tried to say he just got confused, but there were too many papers and too much money for anyone to believe that. It looked like he knew exactly what he was doing. This put King Charles in a very difficult spot. His stepson had done something that looked like a crime against the royal family. The king had to choose between being nice to his family or being fair to the laws of the palace. At first, the king wanted to handle it quietly inside the family. He wanted to talk about it at dinner and make it go away. But Princess Anne said no. She insisted that Tom face real legal consequences. She said that if people in the family can break the rules without getting in trouble, it would be a very bad example. She wanted the lawyers and judges to handle it properly, even if it meant the whole world would hear about the family's mess. Finding out about the Balmoral scheme was just the start of the trouble. When the lawyers looked even deeper into Tom's life, they found a long history of him acting like he was more important than he really is. He had been doing things like this for a long time. People started to ask what else he had been getting away with over the years. The investigators found a pattern of behavior that was very disturbing. Tom had been using his mother's royal title to get things for himself for a very long time. In the food world, there are many critics, but there are not many whose mother is the queen. Tom used that fact to get jobs and opportunities that other people could not get. He used his royal connection as a way to win in business, which many people think is not fair or honest. Restaurant owners started coming forward with stories about Tom. They said he would ask for special treatment or free food because of who his mother is. They felt like they had to say yes to him because they were afraid the queen would be mad if they didn't. Tom had created a situation where people felt they had to be nice to him or something bad might happen. He also made deals with big companies for sponsorships. These companies paid him lots of money because he was close to the royal family. His advertisements often showed pictures of him with the queen or at royal parties. This made people think the royal family liked the products he was selling, even if they didn't. He also made a lot of money from writing cookbooks. The publishers paid him much more than other writers because he was the queen's son. He was basically selling his royal connection to become a millionaire. TV companies also hired Tom for shows because of his royal link. They knew people would watch because they were curious about the queen's son. Tom had turned his family into a way to make money without ever really following the rules of being a royal. He had even used royal stationery and royal email addresses for his private business. This made people think the palace was okay with his business, which was not true at all. It gave people the wrong idea and made them trust him when they should not have. Tom's social media was also full of pictures that showed him at royal events, all meant to make his own brand look better. The line between being a family member and a person trying to make a profit had completely disappeared. The people who work at the royal houses also had complaints about Tom. They said he was often rude to them. He would act like he was a real prince and make everyone do things for him. This made the palace workers very unhappy. They felt like he was using a position that he did not earn. Princess Anne was disgusted by all of these stories. She thinks that being part of the royal family means you have to work hard and be responsible. She thinks Tom represents everything that is wrong with people who have too much privilege. She compared him to her own children, Zara and Peter. Her children have their own jobs, and they never use their royal links to get ahead. They never use titles, and they never ask for free things. Tom's behavior was the exact opposite of how Princess Anne raised her own kids. The money experts found out that Tom had made millions of pounds by using his royal links. All of his success in writing and TV was because of who his mother is. There were also questions about taxes. If Tom was making money by telling lies about his power, that could be a crime. The tax people wanted to make sure he was paying everything he owed. All of these revelations changed the legal case. It was no longer just about one afternoon at Balmoral. It was about many years of Tom doing the wrong thing. Princess Anne's lawyers had a lot of proof to use against him, but Tom's bad behavior was not just about money. It was also about how he used his royal access for his social life. The things they found next were even more shocking. When Queen Camilla found out that her son was being investigated and that Princess Anne was taking him to court, she tried to stop it. She allegedly started a secret plan to protect Tom and hide the truth. This created a huge fight between the family members that might never be fixed. People inside the palace say that Camilla first tried to get King Charles to stop the investigation. She argued that if people found out about Tom, it would make the royal family look very bad. She said she was trying to protect the crown, but Princess Anne knew she was just trying to protect her son. The fight between Camilla and Anne was very loud. Workers heard them shouting at each other in a private room. Anne said that no one should be above the law. Camilla said that family loyalty was more important than legal rules. Camilla even offered to pay back all the money Tom had taken. She was willing to use her own millions to make the problems go away. She hoped that if the money was paid back, Princess Anne would stop the lawsuit. But Anne said no. She said that paying the money was just a way for Tom to buy his way out of trouble. She wanted him to learn a lesson. Then, Queen Camilla tried to talk to the royal lawyers herself. She tried to tell them to stop the investigation. This was a big problem because no one knew if the Queen had the power to tell the lawyers to stop. The lawyers decided they had to keep going because their job is to protect the royal properties, not just the Queen's son. Camilla also tried to set up a meeting between Tom and Anne to talk it out. She hoped that if they talked face to face, Anne would change her mind. Anne refused to go. She said this was a legal matter, not a family chat. The Queen then allegedly tried to talk to the news people to get them to write nice stories about Tom and mean stories about Anne. She wanted people to think Anne was just being mean and overreacting, but this did not work. When the reporters looked at the facts, they saw that Tom had actually done some very bad things. Camilla even tried to stop Anne from going to certain royal events to punish her for being mean to Tom. This petty behavior made Camilla look bad and made Anne even more determined to finish the legal case. King Charles was stuck in the middle. He was trapped between his wife and his sister. Camilla was telling him to support her son or their marriage would have problems. Anne was telling him to do the right thing for the royal family. The king tried to stay in the middle, but that just made him look weak. No one was happy with him. Camilla even tried to tell the palace workers not to talk to the investigators. She told them that being loyal to the family meant keeping Tom's secrets. Some workers felt scared and didn't tell the whole truth at first. But when they talked to Princess Anne, they told her about how Camilla was trying to scare them. Anne was furious that the Queen would try to stop the truth from coming out. The attempted cover-up became part of the proof that the situation was very corrupt. The money records showed that Camilla had given Tom a lot of money after he was caught at Balmoral. It looked like she was helping him hide the money he had taken from other people. Anne's lawyers added this to their investigation. The palace press team did not know how to handle the news. Camilla wanted to hide everything, but Anne wanted the public to know the truth. The cover-up attempt made everything worse for Camilla and Tom. What could have been a small mistake turned into a story about the Queen trying to hide a crime. It made everyone wonder about Camilla's priorities. But Camilla was not the only problem Anne had to face. The royal legal system itself was very confusing and made it hard to get justice. Princess Anne's fight to hold Tom accountable ran into many problems because of how the royal laws work. The first problem was figuring out which court should handle the case. The royal properties have their own special rules that are different from normal British laws. Tom's lawyers used this to say that a normal judge could not tell him what to do. Anne's lawyers said that since Tom was making business deals, the normal laws should apply. They said that just because he used a royal house didn't mean he was special. These arguments caused a lot of delays and made the whole thing take a long time. They also didn't know who had the power to start the case. Could a princess start a lawsuit about royal property, or did only the king have that power? Since the king was also Tom's stepfather, it was very messy. King's refusal to pick a side made everything much harder. His lawyers said he shouldn't get involved in a family fight. But Anne's lawyers said that since the problem was about the royal family's name and property, he had to be involved. By staying neutral, the king was actually helping Tom by stopping the case from moving fast. Tom's legal team was very expensive. People think Camilla was the one paying for his lawyers. These lawyers were very aggressive and used every trick in the book to stop the case. They filed many papers to slow things down. They even said that Anne was only doing this because she didn't like Camilla. They tried to make Anne look like a mean person who was just looking for a fight. This was a lie, but it made people confused. The part where they had to share documents was a giant battle. Tom's lawyers wanted to see all the secrets about how the royal houses are used. They wanted to find any example of other people using the houses without permission, so they could say it was a normal thing to do. They wanted to show that Tom wasn't the only one. Anne's lawyers tried to stop this. They said Tom's lawyers were just trying to find private royal secrets that had nothing to do with the case. These fights over papers took many months and cost a lot of money. The palace workers were also afraid to talk. They didn't want to get in trouble with either Anne or Camilla. Some of them had to be forced to talk by the court. Others said they forgot what happened. The pressure on the workers was very intense. The news was everywhere. Every time something happened in court, it was on the front page of the newspapers. Tom's lawyers used this to make him look like a victim. They said he was just caught in a royal family argument. Expert lawyers started talking on TV about the case. They all had different ideas about if Anne could even win. This showed that the royal laws were very old and didn't work well for the modern world. It showed that the royal family had a lot of problems they had been hiding for a long time. The police were also looking at Tom. They thought the fake papers he made were a crime. But the police didn't want to arrest the Queen's son unless the royal family said it was okay. Anne was fighting against everyone who wanted to keep things quiet. The palace machinery wanted the problem to go away quietly. They wanted a secret deal. Anne's fight challenged the way the royals usually handle scandals. The cost of the fight was millions of pounds. Both sides were spending so much money on lawyers and investigators. Anne was using her own money because she wanted to be independent. Camilla was likely using her money to protect her son. There were many attempts to make a deal. Tom's lawyers said he would say sorry and pay some money back if the case was stopped. He wanted to avoid a trial where everyone would hear his secrets. Anne said no to every deal. She wanted a judge to say officially that what he did was wrong. The stress on the whole family was very bad. Christmas and other holidays were very awkward. Some family members wouldn't even talk to each other. The united image of the royals was falling apart. Anne's health even started to get bad because of all the stress. Her friends were worried about her. She was working so hard to find justice that it was hurting her body and her feelings, but she would not stop. She thought this was a matter of principle. That means she thought it was the most important thing to do, no matter how hard it was. The legal battle showed that the old royal ways were not good enough for today. Quiet talks and family rules could not fix a serious problem like fraud. What do you think about Princess Anne taking Tom Parker Bowles to court? Do you think she was right to do it, or should she have kept it in the family? This is a very big question, and everyone has a different opinion. Some people think Tom should be in jail for what he did. Others think it is just a family mess that shouldn't be in the news. Please let us know what you think in the comments. We want to hear your ideas. Thank you for watching our video about the drama in the royal family. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more news and stories. Also, click on the next video on your screen to see more interesting things about the royals. You will really enjoy it. The royal family is a place where history and modern life often clash. In this story, we see a clash between an old way of keeping secrets and a new way of being honest. Princess Anne is the person who wants to be honest. She is the one who wants the rules to be for everyone, even if they are related to the queen. This is a very brave thing to do. Most people would just stay quiet and let things happen. But Anne is different. She is known as the hardest working royal for a reason. She takes her job seriously, she takes the castle seriously, and she takes the laws seriously. This legal fight is not just about a movie project. It is about the future of the royal family and if they can still be trusted by the people. If Tom Parker Bowles gets away with what he did, then the trust will be gone. That is what Princess Anne is trying to save. On the other side, we see a mother who loves her son very much. Queen Camilla wants to protect Tom. That is a natural thing for a mother to do, but she is also the queen. She has a responsibility to the country. Her attempt to hide the truth has made people question her judgment. It has created a rift between her and Princess Anne that may never be fixed. The two women are very different. One follows the rules and the other follows her heart for her family. This is the heart of the drama. It is a story about duty versus family. It is a story about right versus wrong. And it is a story that is still being written in the courtrooms of Britain. We will have to wait and see what the judge says. But no matter what happens, the royal family has changed forever because of this. This whole mess at Balmoral shows us that being royal is not always about fairy tales and beautiful gowns. It is also about hard choices and complicated laws. It is about people who make mistakes and the consequences they have to face. The royal family is a real family with real problems. They just happen to live in castles. This story reminds us that everyone is human, even the son of a queen. And everyone should have to follow the rules, no matter where they live or who their mother is. This is a lesson that Princess Anne is trying to teach the whole world. It is a lesson that Tom Parker Bowles is learning the hard way. And it is a lesson that we can all remember as we watch the news. The royal family will continue to be in the spotlight, and we will continue to watch them. Thank you so much for staying with us until the end of this long and detailed story. We hope you learned something new and interesting about the British royals. We know there is a lot of news out there, and we appreciate you choosing to watch our video. We work hard to bring you the best and most accurate stories about the royal family. If you have any suggestions for future videos, please let us know in the comments. We love to hear from our viewers. And don't forget to tell your friends about our channel so they can stay updated on the royal news too. The more people who watch and subscribe, the more videos we can make for you. So hit that like button and share our video today. We will see you in the next one with more dramatic details and shocking revelations from behind the palace walls. Goodbye for now and stay royal.